Welcome to our channel where today we're unlocking one of the Bible's most cryptic books, the Book of Revelation. This ancient text, written nearly 2,000 years ago, has captured imaginations, inspired art, and fueled theories about the end of days. Why? Because Revelation isn't just a story, it's a prophecy, a vision of cosmic battles, triumph, and mysteries that seem almost beyond comprehension. Some believe it reveals our future, while others see it as a message for every generation. In this video, we'll explore 7 profound mysteries in Revelation that continue to baffle and intrigue theologians, historians, and everyday readers alike. From the strange vision of the 7 seals to the infamous mark of the beast, we'll dive into symbols that hold meaning, perhaps even hidden knowledge. Each mystery raises questions, challenges assumptions, and calls for deeper reflection. So join us on this journey because what we discover today might change the way you think about faith, prophecy, and the world around us. I am sure you will be amazed to the end.
Our first mystery takes us to the 7 seals, a dramatic sequence that unfolds as each seal on a scroll is broken. When the first seal is opened, a white horse appears, a symbol of conquest. The second, a red horse, brings war. With each seal, a new calamity is unleashed, leading from famine and death to cosmic upheaval, and even cries from martyrs in heaven. Finally, when the 7th seal is broken, there is a strange silence in heaven, as if creation itself is holding its breath. But what do these seals mean? Some believe each one represents historical periods of crisis that humanity has faced over time, leading up to an apocalyptic climax. In this view, the seals are warnings about the potential consequences of human actions: violence, greed, and disregard for justice. Others see them as stages in an individual's spiritual journey, suggesting that the breaking of each seal represents moments of revelation or awakening that a soul encounters on its path toward truth. And yet, there's another theory, that the seals represent global shifts that humanity will face in the future. What's particularly mysterious is the silence after the 7th seal. Is it a pause before the end, a moment of divine calm, or a reminder of the power and awe of the divine? Each interpretation offers something different, leaving us to wonder: are the 7 seals a roadmap of human history, a mirror of our spiritual journey, or both?
Our next mystery, the 144,000. In Revelation, we encounter a very specific group, 144,000 individuals who are sealed and protected. This group is divided into 12,000 from each of Israel's 12 tribes, creating a complete number of 144,000. But who are these people, and why are they chosen? Some believe the 144,000 are a literal group of believers who will play a special role in the end times, chosen for their faith and moral purity. This interpretation sees them as a kind of spiritual elite, dedicated to spreading truth and standing firm against evil forces. Another interpretation views this number symbolically, where 144,000 doesn't signify an exact count, but rather represents the fullness of those who live in faith and commitment. In ancient Jewish numerology, the number 12 signifies completeness, so 144,000 could simply mean all of God's faithful followers. And then, there are those who believe the 144,000 are a metaphor for those who have awakened spiritually, a group destined to help others navigate through times of darkness. This group's role may be symbolic of those striving to embody the virtues of compassion, wisdom, and truth. Who do you think they are? A chosen few? A global movement of spiritually awake individuals? Or perhaps every believer who holds strong to their faith?
The Woman and the Dragon is one of Revelation's most visually striking and symbolically rich scenes. In chapter 12, we're introduced to a woman clothed in the sun, with the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She's pregnant, about to give birth to a child destined to rule all nations. Meanwhile, a fierce red dragon waits nearby, ready to devour her child the moment it's born. Who is this woman, and why is she confronted by such an ominous force? Many interpret the woman as a representation of Israel, from which the Messiah, the child, is born. Others see her as a symbol of the church or the faithful, and the dragon, often associated with Satan, as the personification of evil, intent on preventing goodness from coming into the world. Her struggle with the dragon represents the age-old cosmic conflict between light and darkness, good and evil. However, Some also see her as a symbol of the divine feminine, or of creation itself, facing forces that resist and threaten life. Could this be a vision about the struggle to bring forth truth and love in a world often hostile to those values? The story of the woman and the dragon captures the tension and hope in the spiritual journey, reminding us that in every struggle, there is also the potential for triumph.
Our fourth mystery involves two enigmatic figures, the two witnesses. Revelation describes them as prophets who stand firm against evil, performing miracles, calling down plagues, and boldly speaking truth. They're martyred by a beast, their bodies left in the street for 3.5 days, but then, in a moment that defies belief, they rise again, taken up to heaven as their enemies look on. So, who are these two witnesses? Some believe they are two actual prophets who will appear during the end times, perhaps even Elijah and Moses representing the law and the prophets. Others think they're symbolic, perhaps the Old and New Testaments or even the collective voices of truth and justice standing up to corruption. Their story suggests that truth, though sometimes silenced, will always return, stronger and more powerful than before. But there's also a personal element here. Could these witnesses represent the prophetic voice within each of us? The courage to stand up against wrong even when it comes at a cost? Their resurrection is a powerful reminder of hope, proof that no matter how dark things get, truth and justice are eternal. Do you see these witnesses as historical figures, symbolic voices, or perhaps a calling for all of us to embody their courage?
Few symbols from Revelation are as infamous as the mark of the beast associated with the number 666. According to Revelation, those who lack this mark will be unable to buy or sell, marking it as a form of economic and social control. Theories about the mark's meaning have persisted for centuries. Some believe it refers to Roman emperors like Nero using ancient numerology to decode his name as 666. In our modern world, interpretations range from the literal. Some fear it could be a future technology like microchips or digital IDs, to the metaphorical, where the mark represents allegiance to materialism, corruption, or even a mindset that opposes faith. Could it symbolize the pressure to conform to social and moral decay rather than a physical mark at all? This raises a critical question. Are we already in an age where invisible marks, ideologies, or lifestyles divide us? The mark of the beast may serve as a reminder to be vigilant about the influences we let into our lives and to hold firm to what we truly value.
Babylon the Great, a city of wealth and excess that ultimately faces ruin. Revelation presents Babylon as a seductive but morally corrupt place, an empire built on greed, power, and indulgence. But is Babylon a specific place or something more symbolic? Historically, some see it as a reference to Rome, an empire that was vast and powerful but, according to some, morally corrupt. Others interpret Babylon as any system that prizes material wealth and power above spiritual or ethical values. Some even argue that Babylon could be a cautionary metaphor for modern societies or global powers that prioritize profit over people. The downfall of Babylon serves as a potent warning that no matter how mighty or wealthy a nation, empire, or ideology becomes, it will ultimately fall if it lacks integrity. Could Babylon be more than a prophecy? Could it be a reminder for all of us to seek lives of substance and value, rather than empty excess?
Our final mystery is the New Jerusalem, a vision of paradise described as descending from heaven, radiant and beautiful. This city has walls of jasper, streets of pure gold, and gates of pearl. It's a place of harmony, purity, and eternal light, where all suffering has ended. This imagery has long inspired hope among believers, representing a future where humanity lives in unity with God. Some see the New Jerusalem as a literal city that will exist on earth in a transformed, perfect world. Others interpret it as a metaphor for a future society where humans finally achieve peace, cooperation, and spiritual enlightenment. Then there's a personal interpretation that the New Jerusalem is an internal state, a place of peace and divine presence that each of us can seek within. Ultimately, the New Jerusalem offers a profound message of hope, a promise that no matter how challenging our journey, there is the possibility of ultimate peace and unity with the divine.
Is it a real place, a collective ideal, or an invitation for inner transformation? This final mystery encourages us to reflect on our own vision of paradise.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Revelation's profound mysteries. Whether you see these symbols as literal, metaphorical, or something in between, one thing is certain: they inspire us to ask questions and search for meaning. What's your take on these mysteries? Which one resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through mystery and prophecy, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay with us for more explorations. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.